Welcome back to Good Morning Sri Lanka. We just had an amazing time. Now, well, here's a problem that I've been having as of recent, Amaya. I have this cousin who's always annoying me, and I think he's an attention seeker. Yes.
You called her cousin an attention seeker.
Yeah.
I hope that poor child is not watching this program.
Well, he probably is.
Oh.
And well, I wanted our next guest, to let me know how to get inside the brain of an attention-seeking child.
Okay.
And obviously, we have Arundhati Sivagurunathan on the show again.
Hello, Arundhati. Hello. Welcome back to the show on a Friday morning. You're
Friday
here with
morning.
us. And like Jason mentioned, we're going to speak about Jason's special problem, which he has with his cousin.
With my cousin.
And that is about children who seek attention. So tell us, how do you handle an attention seeker? Or is that a right way of saying the word? I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's a natural thing for a child to seek a lot of attention or crave for a lot of attention from a parent, plus crave for approval from parent, right? But when you're attention seeker, what happens is this becomes a huge problem because it's never enough for them, right? It's like the parents need to set their whole life around this child, right? The whole life will revolve around their child, so it's not going to work. It never works like that, right?
Yeah.
It's impossible. So they might start with misbehaving, right? Like a lot, not just misbehaving, like all the time, trying to get negative attention, right? Or it can be the little cry babies, the crying game, you know, everything is about crying, and they will shed a lot of crocodile tears, which you should ignore, right? So there are three ways of showing attention to a child. One is the positive attention. Positive attention is when they are good, right? Tell them, you know, they're great, praise them, and, you know, give a lot of positive attention to the child. And the other one is negative, right? So negative attention is generally where you get angry with the child for misbehaving, right? And you tend to punish. But here the problem is there's actually no punishment for negative behavior, because the child is still getting attention, right? So it's best to just ignore it, that kind of attention, right? And the other thing is giving no attention at all. So that is like a huge question mark where the parents don't want to give attention to the child. So that's a huge different problem. So that's the only three ways the child will demand attention from you.
So how would I handle it? For example, if this child is seeking for a negative, well, I don't think. Do you think they are seeking for negative attention from the parents, even if they're not getting any attention?
Any attention is better than no attention for a child like this. Any form of attention.
Right. So how would I handle that as a cousin or a parent? How would I handle that with the young one?
First, you need to figure out what is triggering him to do this, right? What is the trigger?
Okay.
Is it because he's bored, whether he's jealous, is he just angry, or he's, you know, whatever. Then you need to figure out when this happens.
Okay, all right.
The situation, right? When this happens, like say, instead, it's most common when the parents are on the phone.
Right.
Because the children hate the parents on the phone. So you need to figure out how that happens. So you need to then cut it down. Say if your cousin is really getting angry with you every time you're on the phone,
That is true.
so that means you need to cut down on your phone calls when he's around.
Okay.
Right? Little simple things like that. But mostly keep on encouraging positive attention. Right? Make them feel that when they're trying to get negative attention from you, you're really not willing to give it to them. So always encourage a lot of positive attention.
Positive attention. Okay, but how much attention does a growing child really need? Because parents also have their work, they have other household duties even to perform. So at some point they might leave the child with another caregiver who may not give as much attention as a parent would. But at the same time, how much time should a parent keep for their child when it comes to giving them all the attention that they need?
Well, there's no spot on time or a clock, but the rule is how you manage your expectations, right? Your expectations of yourself towards your child and your child's expectations towards you. So this is the balance, right? So if you're working, maybe your child wants you to always be with them, but it's not possible, right? So you balance it when you come home, right? So this balance is the place you demarcate that line, or actually just set a boundary where how much of time you are going to spend with the child. It can be even 15 minutes a day, but as long as you are giving quality time, one-on-one, with no distractions. It's just only about you and me, no one else.
So what can you do when you are having quality time with your child? What are some of the things, activities that parents can do at that time?
Sports, maybe? Is sports in the question?
Yeah. So what you need to understand, a child this age is growing physically, cognitively, language wise, plus socially and emotionally, right?
Yes.
All three things are happening. So the emotional part is what he's showing with his attention seeking behavior, right? So you can handle it with giving them enough activities to build up a concentration level that you can actually keep them busy with something else till you sort yourself out.
Okay. So there are some parents who take their children for a whole host of, different classes, things like that happening during the weekends maybe. There's ballet, there's swimming, and then they go for another type of sport, and then there's elocution classes, all of these different things that to keep a child occupied. But do those things can those be considered an alternative to sort of keeping your child occupied at home?
It's about the balance you create against, and it has to be age appropriate, right? So you can't do all these activities for a young kid. But what you could keep in mind is the quality time can be, as you said, activities like sports. It can be just quality time, like sitting with your child and having a nice cuddle, a kiss, and let's reading a book. That is a quality time you spend. So you need to figure out how to balance that kind of affection with your kid, but then again setting boundaries to make him realize that this is all the time you have, but let's do it together. But most parents actually have this whole guilt feeling, or they feel very powerless that they can't handle a child's situation because they are busy. But then end of it all, you are not trying to be a perfect parent. What you are trying to do is give your child the best of love, and you need to be there for the good, bad, and the ugly, I guess. That's
okay, so let me tell you what happened. Alright, so this little baby was in the apartment one day, and the cousin was there in the sofa, and this baby doesn't like to be lifted by any other, carried around by any other person except for her mom, but she liked me a lot, and she was on my shoulder. Just picture that baby on my shoulder right now.
so dramatic.
It was so cute. But I think that's when this kid kept on tugging on my pants and saying, "Oh, lift me too," but I don't want to. He's older. He's like 7 and annoying. So what do I do? If it's jealousy, I'm guessing that is jealousy. What do I do from then on?
So you need to find a way of accommodating, because generally you don't have the luxury of only having one child at a time. Some parents have 2, 3 together, right?
And then sibling rivalry really becomes a big problem there.
So you need to know how to divide the attention. You need to balance it. Say, okay, the baby needs first priority because I need to put him down. The moment I do that, let's do something together. It's the balance. That's what I said. You really need to balance your expectations.
What I've been recommended by a lot of people was ignoring people. Is that a good choice? Ignoring the young one when they behave badly.
Of course. That's the only way.
Really?
Because you are trying to tell them your behavior is not acceptable, but you need to explain it. You can't just say, I don't care what you're doing. You need to explain it and say, okay, this is not the way to get attention from me. But if you're good, I'll give you more than attention you want, like positive attention.
But then doesn't it also happen at some point that the child has become an attention seeker because they're not getting enough attention? So once you start ignoring them as well, then doesn't it sort of, won't it go over their heads and they won't care because they're anyway not getting a lot of attention?
But how do you stop? Even because now attention seeker, as I said, it's a child who will be okay with any kind of attention. It can be good, bad, whatever, right? So you as a parent need to balance it in a way that the child will have more positive attention towards you. See, the role here is not to eliminate the fact that the child wants attention from you, because you can never do that. Children crave for attention, right? It is to set the goal that how you lessen this pattern much as possible and bring the best out of him.
Right.
Okay.
So let's summarize and sort of think about the do's and don'ts that a parent should be going for when it comes to approaching, handling an attention-seeking child, or actually a child who wants more reassurance than other children. So what are the do's? I mean, what are the right things to do? Let's do it like a tick mark.
Well, there is no spot-on remedy for this, but a few tips I could say is that always try to encourage positive behavior, and you need to tell them this is great, and praise them, and find ways to reward them for that. Another thing is, as I said, build up their concentration level, that they also will have themselves occupied. And another thing is, the don'ts is 100% is try not to spend quality time switching the TV on with your child, right? Because that always happens with the parent also, because for their convenience. And I guess the mostly is to tell them that how much you care for them, no matter what they are, right?
And I think that's what children want at the end of the day, right? They want someone to just tell them that I'm there for you, no matter what. And
you have to be 100% there for them, because parents have tendency of giving empty promises to children. Right? So if you promise something, you need to make sure you are going to be there for them, and you are going to show up for them.
And also, I mean, don't make promises that you can't keep.
No,
that's another thing. So
okay, this is gonna be really messed up how I'm gonna put this, but I have to ask, and I really need to know if this is the right thing to do. Okay, so I'm good at training dogs, and if you train the dog right, you give them a piece of dog cookie, they do the thing that you want. So I mean, is it the same thing with kids? If they do behave well, give them a piece of, reward them with a piece of candy. If it does something bad, just tell them to stand in the corner.
Did you just compare a child to a dog?
Yes, to a certain extent.
Because I'm going to basically ignore this question, because dogs do not have the capacity of cognitive thinking, right? The child has brains.
Right, yeah.
The only thing is, the way you said it, the reward is not always about throwing a piece of candy, but it has to be a reward where it stays in their mind, my mother and father really loves what I'm doing.
Yes.
Or cousin.
No dogs, no dogs. Dogs are different.
So my deepest sympathies go out to any cousins who are related to Jason. But at least you'll get candy, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Thrown at you.
Yes, they're thrown at you. Or it's the corner for you. But on that note, thank you so much, Arundhati, for being with us on the show today and this morning. And I think we've really addressed the problem of attention-seeking children, and children who just want a little more reassurance than the other kids out there, and how you can give it to them positively, and how you can avoid giving it to them negatively. So that's a really great thing that we've given out to our viewers this morning. I hope that you've enjoyed that as well, and you've really learned something from what Arundhati had to say. So Arundhati, we'll see you once again next week as well. Jason, that's it from us for this week.
And yes, this week. I thank you. It is Friday.
Yes.
The weekend is around the corner.
Yes.
Well, if you wanted to find out more information about today's show, you can email us at mtvsports@maharaja.lk. Make sure you send us an email, and we might reply. I'm not sure if you will. Okay, we will. Anyways,
we love your comments. We love your feedback. Do let us know what you think about the show. We're going to leave you this Friday morning with a song.
What is the song?
Oh, I don't know what the song is, but we're going to leave you with a lovely song. So have a good day. Have a great weekend as well, and we'll see you again on Monday.
Play us out, random song.